Subhadra ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 29, which you have here. You can follow and repeat after me. Jara Marana Mokshaya Mama Shritya Yatanti Ye Te Brahma Tadvidu Krishnam Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam Jara Marana Mokshaya Mama Shritya Yatanti Ye Te Brahma Tadvidu Krishnam Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam. Somebody else? Okay.
Jara Marana Mokshaya
Jara Mokshaya
Mama Shritya Yatantiye
Mama Shritya Yatantiye
Te Brahma Tadvidu Kritsnam
Te Brahma Tadvidu Krishnam
Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam
Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam.
Jara Marana Mokshaya
Jara Mokshaya
Mam Ashritya Yatantiye
Mama Shritya Yatantiye
Te Brahma Tad Vidu Kritsnam
Te Brahma Tadvidu Krishnam
Adhyatmam Karma Chakhilam.
Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam. Anyone else? Jara Marana Mokshaya Mama Shritya Yatantiye Te Brahma Tadvidu Krishnam Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam. Anyone else? Krishna Tha? Anyone else? Krishna? Anyone? No? Now word by word. Jara from old age. Marana and death. Mokshaya for the purpose of liberation. Me, sorry. Ashritya, taking shelter of. Yatanti, endeavor. Ye, all those who. Te, such persons. Brahma, Brahman. Tat, actually that. Vidu, they know. Krishnam, everything. Adhyatmam, transcendental. Karma, activities. Cha, also. Akilam, entirely. Can you put the fan on the back? There's a fan there. You just connect it near the computer and leave it blowing this way. Thank you. Translation by His Divine and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. So repeat after me. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Purport. Birth, death, old age and diseases affect this material body, but not the spiritual body. There is no birth, death, old age and disease for the spiritual body. So one who attains a spiritual body becomes one of the associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engages in eternal devotional service. Becomes one of the associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engages in eternal devotional service and is really liberated. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. It is said that one should understand that is Brahman, spiritual soul. This Brahman conception of life is also in devotional service as described in this verse. The pure devotees are transcendentally situated on the Brahman platform and they know everything about transcendental activities. 4 kinds of impure devotees who engage themselves in the transcendental service of the Lord achieve their respective goals, and by the grace of the Supreme Lord, when they are fully Krishna conscious, they actually enjoy spiritual association with the Supreme Lord. But those who are worshippers of demigods never reach the Supreme Lord in His supreme planet. Even the less intelligent Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai. Gurnita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even the less intelligent Brahman realized persons cannot reach the supreme planet of Krishna known as Goloka Vrindavan. Only persons who perform activities in Krishna consciousness, Mam Ashritya, are actually entitled to be called Brahman because they are actually endeavoring to reach the Krishna planet. Such persons have no misgivings about Krishna and thus they are factually Brahman. Those who are engaged in worshipping the form of Acha of the Lord or who are engaged in meditation on the Lord simply for liberation from material bondage, also known by the grace of the Lord, the purports of Brahman, as explained by the Lord in the next chapter. The plug is in the computer plug. The computer plug, underneath the computer plug, you can plug it in. You take it out and you put that one. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jara Marana Mokshaya, Mama Shritya Yatanti Ye, Te Brahmata Vidu Kritsnam, Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Hare Krishna. So, Bhagavad Gita is a manual. You know, when we buy a telephone, a fridge, it comes with a manual. Nowadays, nobody even reads those manuals. What people do? Google it, right? Google it to see how it works. So, in spiritual life or in life, we also should do that. We should Google it. What is this life about? And what is the best Google of material life and spiritual life? Bhagavad Gita is the Google. You can find all the answers in here. And the answers are given by Krishna. And Krishna gave these answers, gave this knowledge to Arjuna. And he gave it in a practical way. Like when we go to Google, you take it as absolute truth. Whatever it comes out, we take it, right? So why not take it from Krishna too? If we take it from Google, why you don't take it from Krishna? So if Krishna says, it must have some truth. Krishna is described by many authorities in Vedic culture as Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita says, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam. I am the Supreme Brahman. Lord Brahma says, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govinda, Krishna, is the original person. So Krishna speaks the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in a practical way. Arjuna is bewildered. He does not know what to do. He does not know what to do in life. He's in a situation. He does not know if he should act or not act. If he's even proposing, should I go to the forest? Should I meditate? What should I do? And Krishna gives him knowledge, how to understand his duty, his life, and the world, God, the relationship between him and God. Everything Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So Bhagavad Gita is a practical manual that we can use for practical life. It's not just a book to keep in a shelf, and it's not just a theoretical understanding or figurative, like someone says, this thing means that thing means that. No, and Krishna is speaking to Arjuna face to face, and he's telling him what to do and how he should see life. So here, Krishna is explaining that, and Srila Prabhupada gives an example of Dr. Frog. Once there was a Dr. Frog who lived in a well. It was a well, a normal well, not just a pond well. So the Dr. Frog was living in the well very happy. And then comes a friend. And he says, you know what? I came from a distant place, I traveled, and I can tell you about a big body of water. And Dr. Frog said to him, big body of water? How big? 2 times this well? And the other frog says, no, it's much bigger. 4 times this well? No, much bigger. 10 times this well? So the philosophy of Dr. Frog is what we try to do in life. We face things in life and we think, well, I think like this. Or maybe should be like that. So we use Dr. Frog's philosophy according to our own measures of our own life, what we see, what we perceive. When we grow in life from boyhood to youth, mature, our conceptions of life are built up from childhood, from society, from culture, from association. And that's Dr. Frog's philosophy, because according to that, we think the world is like that. Okay, maybe it's not one time of my well, maybe it's 2 times my well. So we use our conceptions and say, well, maybe it's a little bigger than what I think, or a little left to what I think, or a little right. But that's Dr. Frog's philosophy. Dr. Frog will not be able ever to understand the ocean unless he hears it and understands it as it was explained to him. So same way Bhagavad Gita speaks here about a truth and reality of life way beyond our little frog well. We live with a little conception. Krishna is explaining us something that is way beyond our capacities of seeing and understanding, because our well is small. We can never understand the ocean. So Krishna is giving us this understanding. And he's saying to Arjuna here that intelligent persons, they try to get rid of the real problems of life. So now, this is the old question, very old. What are the problems of life? There's so many theories. Well, it should be this, should be that. We should be happy. We should be free. Should do whatever we feel. There's so many conceptions. But according to Bhagavad Gita, according to Vedic culture, in this material world, there's 4 major problems of life: birth, death, old age, and disease. These 4 problems are in every corner of the material world. And those are the real problems. Why? Because we are never happy with these things. Nobody wants to die. Although we see it's very happy moment when the child is born, it's actually ironic, because one child is born and next side there's someone dying because that's the material world. Every day. There's actually, once Yudhishthira Maharaj was tested. Yudhishthira Maharaj was a saintly king, and he was tested. There's a story behind, but I'm being short in the description. Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? And he had to answer right, because if he didn't answer right, his brothers would die. So he said, the most wonderful thing in this world is that every day people are dying, and still one thinks that he will live forever. That's the most wonderful thing. Because we live like we never die. What? That is for Iran. They're bombing Iran. They are dying. We don't die. Oh, that's for Israel. They are bombing there. They will die there. Not me. We always think, well, it didn't happen to me. You heard that tragical accident in India, Ahmedabad. A plane, 300 people almost died. Nobody's expecting. Those people inside the houses, they were students of medicine. The plane fell on top, killed everyone. Killed 20, 30, plus the 240 something passengers. Only one survived. So nobody expected to die. They all live going in a plane like we all go in a plane. We never think we're going to die. But this is the most wonderful thing, because we know, we see. We all have seen our father, maybe not our father, sorry, but some relative, some friend died. But we're living like we're not dying. We going about life like it's no problem. But that's actually a problem. Now we all gonna die, as sure as death, it is said. So these are the real problems of life, of material life. Death, birth, because when you're born, you're already counting how many days to die. It's not pessimism, it's reality. Everything in this material all goes to these changes. Birth stays for some time, it grows, expands or reproduces, and then dies. Everything in this material world, whatever it may be in this material world. So this is actually a problem. Why? Because we, as living entities, do not want to die. That's why we try to ignore death. I read the other day that somebody is freezing the body, so one day when they invent life, you can resuscitate the frozen body. One day. By that day, everyone is dead, and there's new people coming, and they are continuing this search. Because this is a search from the beginning of humanity. Because no man wants to die. So, as sure as death. So, birth, death, old age. Nobody wants to get old. You ask anyone, do you want to get old? No. Teeth start falling, you cannot see properly, you need glasses, cannot walk, your knees are paining. Now you young, you don't think, oh, that's for the old people. But it will happen to you sooner or later. So this is reality, it's not pessimism. Pessimism is like the ostrich. You know what the ostrich does when there's danger? You ever heard this thing? You didn't know about animals? There's ostrich. When there's some animal coming for danger, you know what they do? They dig a hole with their head and put their head inside the sand. There's no danger. And there comes the animal. Wow, eats it. Because it's just putting the head in the sand, trying to ignore the danger. So that's what we do. It's a reality of life. It's not like the ostrich that puts their head in the sand, ignoring what's going on. An intelligent person will question, what's this? Why am I going through this? So Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that intelligent persons, because an intelligent person will question. The living entities in the body of animals, they cannot question. You see in a slaughterhouse, when they encage the poor animals, they go one after the other. And they're all happily going one behind the other. They don't know they're going to be killed next moment. Animals cannot understand this. So only human beings, in the Vedic scriptures is explained there's 8,400,000 species of 8,400,000 species of life. Out of this one, there's 400,000 species of human beings. And only the human being can actually use his intelligence. He has this capacity to use his intelligence. So Krishna explains that the one with intelligence and the endeavors to be free from old age and death and takes refuge in Krishna, the source of everything, they actually know everything. Now Krishna, earlier in the second chapter, Bhagavad Gita, it's very, like I said, is a perfect manual of life. So Krishna in the beginning explained what is the difference between the body and the soul, between the living entity and the body. That's second chapter. So now, for us, we have some intelligence. It's up to us to take the instruction, try to understand and clear this point. So why is this happen? And how we can deal with this. So one example that Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita is that the difference between the body and the soul, and how is the soul engaging with the different aspects of the body. And he gives the example of a carriage. And my daughter made a beautiful painting. It's actually here in Bhagavad Gita. If you have a Bhagavad Gita, you can look at the picture later. But my daughter painted here, draw here, and I will show you. So, this is a carriage with a passenger here. It's like alarm say, oh, under the driver, and 5 horses. So this is how Krishna exemplifies the body and the soul. So the body is considered the carriage where the soul is sitting. And the driver is the intelligence. Okay? And the intelligence is holding the reins, who controls the horses. So the reins is the mind. And the horses are the senses. 5 horses, 5 senses. Bolo. Which one? One.
Taste.
Taste. Another?
Sight.
Sight, vision, taste, 2. Another? Huh? Hearing. 3. Smell. 4. And? Touch. So those are the 5 horses, 5 senses. Smell, taste, visions, hearing, and taste. Right? 5. So now the 5 horses, what happens? Okay, maybe we are city people, we don't know these things. But what happens to the horses when you leave them loose? Chaos, right? The carriage will go left, right, left, the whole mess. That's why the passenger is panicking, because it's going everywhere. One horse wants to go left, another horse wants to go right, and it's total chaos. That's happened to us. The soul, when we are in the body, and the mind is loose, means the reins are loose, the horses are loose. What happened? I want to eat this. Yes. I want to taste that. Yes. I want to hear this. Yes. I want to touch that. Yes. And we go like a roller coaster. Up, down, left, right. Krishna explains that to control the senses and the mind is like controlling the wind. Can you control the wind? No, it's very difficult. When there's a hurricane, tornado, nobody can do anything. Even the most powerful country or person cannot do anything. So the senses are uncontrollable unless the intelligence, with the help of the mind, controls them by giving them understanding and direction, which is the reins. You keep the reins tight. I want to taste this fantastic dead animal. The intelligence will say, wait a moment. That thing is a dead animal. It's a corpse. It's a dead body. Why should I put that dead body inside my body? That's intelligence, controlling, using reasoning. Why should I kill another living entity for my tongue? To put in my belly like a graveyard of bones and flesh? Put the graveyard inside my body? I don't want to do that. And I don't want to kill a living entity. Why should I? That's intelligence, controlling the senses. And like that, you can go over any other topic, smell, hearing, taste. The intelligence discriminates, which controls the mind. The mind's functions is thinking, feeling, and willing. Today's days, there's theories. And why these theories? The theories are there because people want to be happy, but they look in the wrong place. There's theories, you must do whatever you want. Just let yourself free. Whatever you feel, whatever you want, just go for it. There's even actually a joke. Somebody came to the end of life, death, like completely wrecked. And like there's this saying, life is 2 days, carnival is 3. So have as much fun as you want, and you come to death all wrecked and finished the thing, but I lived life. So that's not very good proposition. According to this, your horses are completely, they're uncontrolled. So your carriage takes your soul, you, to an unknown place. And as Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, what you think about yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajanti kalevaram, that at the time of death, whatever thoughts are more concentrated in your mind, that's kind of body you will get next life. Because already in this life we change from bodies to body. It's explained scientifically that every 7 years the body changes, the cells, the constitution changes. And we have seen, like there was a small child, there's a small child there. Can you remember yourself that age? What are you now to that? It's completely different, right? The body is different, but you are the same person. That person is the soul. That's the passenger in a car. The carriage changed. Instead of being a Mini, now we have a Mercedes-Benz. But the driver is the same. The carriage changed a little bit. So at the same time, when this body is finished, the passenger, like when you have a car, your car is old, right? It's now old. Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai. Sri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the car is old. So what you do? You change to another car. More modern car, more sophisticated, with GPS, with this, with that. So the same way, when the soul is in the body, the body is finished, it takes another body. Reincarnation takes another body according to the thoughts and activities of his life. So intelligent persons try to understand this and conduct their life in a way that they deal with this, which understanding that, okay, if I'm the soul, what are the activities of the soul? Okay? What are the activities of the soul? How can I connect to the source of everything? Nothing happens by chance. We cannot say that we know. When a child looks at the car and he sees the car moving, say, oh, how's the car moving alone? No, there's a driver inside. Same way, nature is a huge, massive organism and machine. It's not working on its own. There's a driver behind, which is God. We call it Krishna. Krishna is the source of everything. So how can we connect with that source? How can we understand better that source? How can we relate to that source? Because that is really what Krishna explains as devotional service. How we relate to him in the loving manner so we can be related to him not just now but eternally. That is what spiritual life is about. Even here, if we connect with him, we are not anymore in the material world. We are in the spiritual world because we connected to him. That's the difference between God and anything material. With God, everything is absolute. His name, his form, his pastimes, his deity, everything has the same qualities as him. Doing the offering? Okay. So, this is what we're going to do next, which we already did in the beginning. Kirtan. Kirtan is, according to the scriptures, the best method to connect with the Supreme, with God, with Krishna in this age, where to control the mind and to have a sharp intelligence is difficult. And the best way is to chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, because Krishna and his name is absolute. In the spiritual world, the name Krishna and Krishna is non-different. So when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna is present. Krishna is present in our tongue. And when we hear it, the sound comes into our heart. And then when it reaches our heart, then our heart then cries and loves for Krishna. So that's the process of chanting Hare Krishna. And that's why we feel so happy when we chant Hare Krishna. Because it's the soul